Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with the top story. In a special briefing, India's External Affairs Ministry said that PM Narendra Modi will embark on an official visit to the United Kingdom on 23rd July for discussions with his British counterpart, Keir Starmer. Addressing the briefing, Secretary Vikram Misri said that PM will also call upon King Charles III and will hold interactions with the business leaders from both the nations. The Secretary further informed that the PM will also visit Maldives from July 25th to 26th on the invitation of President of Republic of Maldives, Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. Prime Minister will be the guest of honor at the celebrations of the 60th anniversary of the independence of Maldives on July 26. Both the houses of the Parliament are adjourned till Wednesday amid protest by opposition members demanding a discussion on Operation Sindoor, the special intensive revision of electoral rules in poll-bound Bihar and other issues. ISRO's GSLV F-16 will launch NISAR, the NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, on 30th July from Sriharikota. A milestone marks an over a decade of collaboration between ISRO and NASA. India's Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar has officially tendered his resignation, citing that he wishes to prioritize healthcare and abide by medical advice. Presiding officer Ghanshyam Tiwari informed the House that the Ministry of Home Affairs has conveyed the resignation of Vice President under Article 67A of the Constitution with immediate effect. In a post on X, the Prime Minister said that Jagdeep Dhankhar has got many opportunities to serve the country in various capacities, including as the Vice President of India. The first batch of Apache attack helicopters for the Indian Army arrived in India on Tuesday from the United States. Calling it a milestone moment, Army officials said it will soon be deployed at Jodhpur by the Indian Army, boosting the operational capabilities of the Indian Army significantly. The week-long celebrations under Bharat Skill Next 2025 concluded today. The event brings together visionaries and change makers to chart the next frontier of skilling. Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Jayant Chaudhary shared his vision through a keynote address at the event celebrating 10 transformative years of the Skill India mission. The British Navy's F-35 fighter jet finally took off from Thiruvananthapuram International Airport on Tuesday after remaining grounded at the airport for over a month following a fault in the hydraulic system. Bolivian President Luis Alberto Arce Catacora has extended heartfelt gratitude to the Indian government for donating 3 lakh doses of the measles and rubella vaccine. President Arce described the gesture as one of solidarity and timely support amid a growing health emergency in the country. He also said the vaccines will significantly boost Bolivia's mass immunization campaign for children aged 1 to 14. The auxiliary power unit of an Air India flight caught fire on Tuesday afternoon after landing at Delhi airport from Hong Kong. The airline said in a statement, all passengers and crew members are safe, it added. Ahead of the annual Baba Bura Amarnath Yatra, top officials from the Jammu and Kashmir Police, CRPF, BSF and Indian Army carried out a high-level review of the security and logistical arrangements to ensure a smooth and peaceful pilgrimage. The revered shrine located in the Mandi subdivision of Poonch district is set to welcome thousands of devotees from across India from July 28 to August 9. Maharashtra government moves Supreme Court against Bombay High Court's decision to acquit all 12 accused in the 711 train blast case of 2006. Court has agreed to list the case for hearing on 24th July. The Labour and Employment Minister inaugurated the 3rd Global Industrial Relations Summit, a timely dialogue on shaping the future of work in New Delhi. Addressing the gathering, the Union Minister emphasized that manpower and workforce will remain relevant despite the inception of new technologies and artificial intelligence. Indian equity indices ended on a negative note in the volatile session on Tuesday. At close, Sensex slipped 14 points to settle at 82,187. Nifty fell 30 points at 25,061. Gold futures maturing on August 5 were priced at Rs 99,192 per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for July 4 maturity stood at Rs 1,14,781 per kg on the MCX. Indian rupee fell 5 paise to close at 86.36 against US dollar on Tuesday. Oil prices declined on Tuesday amid concerns the brewing trade war between major crude consumers. The US and the European Union will curb fuel demand growth by lowering economic activity. Brent crude futures were down 28 cents to $68.93 a barrel. US West Texas stood at $66.83 a barrel, down 0.55%. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq notched record high closes on Monday, lifted by Alphabet and other mega caps ahead of several earnings report this week. Minister of State for External Affairs Pavitra Margarita called on King Letsay III of Lesotho in Maseru. He conveyed greetings of President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Leaders discussed ways to further enhance our bilateral partnership and cooperation in matters of mutual interest. The death toll in the Dhaka aircraft crash has risen to 31 on Tuesday, while 165 others are receiving treatment at different hospitals. Russia and Ukraine will hold new peace talks on Wednesday as a follow-up to 2 rounds in Istanbul that made little progress on ending their conflict, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced. Ukrainian President Zelensky appointed over a dozen new ambassadors, replacing top cabinet officials and envoys to shore up relations with Washington and isolate Russia internationally. A trilateral meeting between Iran, Russia and China will take place today to discuss Tehran's nuclear program and the United Nations snapback mechanism. North Korean officials and shipyard workers pledged to complete construction of a new Navy destroyer warship by October 10 next year, state news agency said. Sirens rang out in Tel Aviv early Tuesday as Israel's military said it intercepted a missile launched from Yemen. Donald Trump demanded in a Truth Social post that the NFL's Washington Commanders and MLB's Cleveland Guardians revert to their old names, both of which were abandoned in recent years due to being racially insensitive to Native Americans. The United States withdrew from the United Nations Cultural Organization UNESCO on Tuesday, saying continued involvement was not in the national interest. It also added that UNESCO works to advance divisive social and cultural causes. EU Defence Commissioner Andres Kubilius said Europe must boost its defence as the US shifts focus to China. He urged Europe to prepare for more strategic responsibility. Venezuela announced it is launching a formal investigation onto Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele and other officials over alleged abuse of Venezuelan migrants deported from the United States. Argentina's aviation sector erupted on Monday as 5 unions protested at Buenos Aires' Jorge Newbery Airport, opposing regulatory changes, wage delays, layoffs and privatization policies. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro showed his ankle monitor after Brazil's Supreme Court imposed restrictions in a coup probe. He is barred from contacting foreign officials. The U.S. Justice Department released over 240,000 pages tied to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination, including FBI files that monitored and attempted to discredit him during the Cold War. The UK government has approved a €38 billion Sizewell C nuclear power plant, securing funding from EDF, Centrica, Amber Infrastructure and Canada's Larkhies Pension Fund to boost national energy security. Cholera outbreak is surging in Kinshasa's Pakarjuma in DR Congo, and amid poor sanitation and no running water, treatment centers are overwhelmed as outbreaks hit 21 African countries, says Africa CDC. Leftist leaders from Spain, Brazil, Colombia, Uruguay and Chile met in Santiago to call for unity against US protectionism and extremism. The summit focused on Donald Trump's tariff policies. Germany and Norway agreed to tighten North Atlantic surveillance amid tensions with Russia. Chancellor Friedrich Merz and PM Jonas Gahr Store stressed protecting key naval routes. Microsoft said a cyber espionage attack hit 100 organizations using SharePoint servers. Victims, mostly in the US and Germany, include government bodies. Google tied some of the hacks to a China Nexus threat actor. All right, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar.
It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. Some more stories. Heavy rain in Uttarakhand has triggered landslides and blocked 93 roads across the region. The India Met Department has issued an orange alert for several districts. Rain lashed parts of Delhi on Tuesday, with the IMD forecasting light to moderate showers continuing through Wednesday. Temperatures are expected to range between 23 and 36 degrees Celsius, accompanied by cloudy skies. Torrential rains in the Philippines have caused floods with knee to waist deep water, prompting evacuations around Manila's rivers and waterways. Thousands of families are in shelters as tropical storm Vifa intensifies. In Thailand, heavy rain, strong winds and dangerous seas are expected due to a strong southwest monsoon and approaching typhoon Vifa. The storm may cause isolated heavy to very heavy rainfall. Typhoon Vifa struck southern China, Hong Kong and Taiwan before heading towards Vietnam's northern coast, bringing heavy rains, flash floods and landslide warnings. In central Israel, volunteers are replanting grapevines damaged by wildfires earlier this year. The Lateran monastery lost about 1/3 of its 5 hectares of vines. Firefighters battle a rare fire tornado in Turkey's Belakik amid hundreds of wildfires sweeping the country this summer. 2 people died in recent blazes in Izmir province. In Vienna, the new and old Danube serve both as flood protection and popular summer swimming spots. Authorities monitor water quality bi-weekly to balance recreation with habitat preservation. Belgium has placed 200,000 flat oyster larvae in a sunken shipwreck off its coast to restore the rare species and boost marine biodiversity. Flash flood warnings were issued across parts of the US Midwest as heavy rains caused a creek to overflow in Kansas City, with officials describing the flooding as the worst since 1993. In Mogadishu, Somalia, artist Masla Abdi Dahir trains young people in painting and visual expression, challenging cultural taboos around art depicting peace and identity in a city scarred by conflict. Dahir's studio has become a safe space for creativity in Somalia, where formal art education is rare and visual storytelling is often stigmatized. Saudi Arabia is pushing to become a global hub for esports, backed by major tournaments like Esports World Cup, government investment and a national gaming strategy. As part of its Vision 2030 plan, Saudi Arabia aims to launch 250 local gaming companies, create 39,000 jobs and raise the sector's GDP contribution to 50 billion riyals. Vietnam has ranked 6th out of 40 countries in the World AI Index released by WIN, standing out for its openness and optimism towards artificial intelligence. While Vietnam shows strong enthusiasm and awareness of AI usefulness, actual adoption remains moderate, with the country placed 17th in AI usage. At Chicago's North Avenue Beach Scream Club, Chicago meets weekly to help people release stress through collective screaming. The club grew from a spontaneous moment. Attendees describe the shared experience as healing and judgment-free. Nigerian students showcase innovative robotics projects addressing local challenges at the Battle of the Bots competition in Lagos. While AI adoption grows rapidly in Nigeria, parental concerns over misinformation and children's reliance on AI prompted the Kids Tech Fest. The Bobby Deol starrer Bandar will be screened at the prestigious 2025 Toronto International Film Festival. The film will premiere at the festival, which will run from September 4th to 14th. Hollywood stars Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby walked the red carpet in Los Angeles on Monday for Marvel Studios' reboot of the Fantastic Four franchise titled The Fantastic Four: First Steps. Set in a retro-futuristic 1960s world, the new Fantastic Four film introduces Marvel's first family as the Battle, Galactus and Silver Surfer. Ahead of its release, the second trailer of Son of Sardar 2 starring Ajay Devgan was unveiled on Tuesday. The trailer follows Devgan's character through chaotic twist. Iranian filmmaker Jafar Panahi has been named the 2025 Asian Filmmaker of the Year by the Busan International Film Festival. He will receive the award in September. The Oscar submission site is now open, allowing film companies to upload streaming assets to the Academy screening room for members-only viewing. Film companies must submit an Oscar submission form and screen credits by September 10 for films released between January and June, and by November 13 for those released July to December. The Venice Film Festival will reveal its 2025 lineup, with director Alberto Barbera announcing the official slate, including Golden Lion contenders, via live stream. Country music legend Dolly Parton is the subject of a new official musical, Dolly, a true original musical which premiered in Nashville ahead of her Las Vegas residency. The musical features portrayals of key figures in Parton's life, including her husband Carl Dean. It is set to head to Broadway in 2026 following its Nashville run. Bollywood stars Kajol and Twinkle Khanna will co-host a new talk show titled Too Much with Kajol and Twinkle, produced by Bunny J Asia. The show promises high-profile guests from the Bollywood A-list. British singer Charlie XCX and George Daniel, drummer of the 1975, got married in London. Charlie wore a Vivienne Westwood dress while Daniel donned a suit for the ceremony at Hackney Town Hall. Malcolm Jamal Warner, known for playing Theo on The Cosby Show, has died at 54 after reportedly drowning during a family trip in Costa Rica. Gary Smith, 8-time Emmy-winning producer known for 6 Tony Awards, broadcasts and specials featuring Elvis Presley, Barbara Streisand and more, died at age 90 in Los Angeles. Oscar-nominated actor Willem Dafoe turned 70 on Tuesday. With a 40-year career and over 100 films, Dafoe is known for a wide range of roles. He received a Hollywood Walk of Fame star in 2023. England and India are set to lock horns in the crucial 4th Test at Old Trafford on Wednesday. England lead the 5-match series 2-1. England made just one change in their playing 11 for the 4th Test, with all-rounder Liam Dawson replacing injured Shoaib Bashir. Indian pacer Mohammad Siraj confirmed that spearhead bowler Jasprit Bumrah will play the 4th Test. Pacer Anshul Kamboj could make his Test debut for India after injury to key players. India have suffered another injury blow, with their captain Shubman Gill confirming that pacer Akashdeep will miss the 4th Test due to a groin niggle. Indian Grandmaster Koneru Humphrey is facing Lei Ting-Zhai of China in the semi-finals of FIDE Women's World Cup in Georgia. India's Divya Deshmukh defeated compatriot Harika Dronawali in tie-break to enter the semi-finals of the FIDE Women's World Cup. Indian shuttler Ajit Pranoy saved 5 match points to beat Japan's Koki Watanabe in opening round of the China Open badminton tournament in Changzhou on Tuesday. However, Lakshya Sen squandered a one-game advantage to suffer a 21-14, 22-24, 11-21 loss against Li Chi-feng of China in the opening round. World number 2 Carlos Alcaraz has withdrawn from next week's Canadian Open in Toronto to recover from Wimbledon final loss against Jannik Sinner. Olympic champion Zheng Qingwen has decided to pull out of the US Open as she continues to recover from right elbow injury. England to take on Italy in the semi-final of 2025 Women's Euro in Geneva city of Switzerland on Tuesday. Manchester United has signed forward Brian Mbuemo from Brentford until 2030 with the option to extend the contract for a year further. Defending champion Tadej Pogacar expects a tough final week as he prepares for the Tour de France. Buenos Aires is set to host the MotoGP races after nearly 30 years as the Grand Prix of Argentina makes a return in 2027. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.